What is going on, guys? It's just another Madden 22 video. Now, I'm going to start. This is going to be a positive video, okay? I have a negative video that I'm going to release, but this is a positive one. And I'm going to start by saying Madden 22 is actually an enjoyable game. There's some enjoyable parts to this game. And there's some people who, and I've made negative videos about Madden 21, Madden 22, probably Madden 20 also. Mainly negative videos, but we're going to get into some positivity because this game has gotten pretty enjoyable. Okay, I've been enjoying the game. I have a franchise mode, and there's some stuff that I dislike on this franchise, but as you can see, I'm 6-3, and that's my franchise. I'm playing as Indianapolis Colts. I do have some creative players on here. I have I have a created quarterback. His attributes are like a 77 or something. He's not maxed out or nothing like that because I don't play like that. I like to be a little bit more realistic to get a more honest experience. I'm not going to put like 7 or 8 maxed out guys on one team. I'm not going to do that. I used to do that when I was younger. I don't do that now, but these games are pretty close. Some of them. Let's take a look at some of my, you know, I'm trying to look at my previous games. See, here's this one right here. We lost close game. Now, the game, there was nothing wrong with anything. I just got beat. I was new playing it. And Madden 22 on PS5, this is the PS5 version. The timing is different on here with the throws. I'm used to playing PS4. There's throws you can make on the PS4 that you can't make the same on this. The running game timing is different. I wasn't used to it. I started to kind of get used to it. Now, I still play on all Madden, okay? I'm not going away from that. Then I won a game against the Titans. I started feeling good. I was on a nice little hot streak. I started winning these games, and I was playing with a lot of clutch. In previous Madden games, I felt like the close games I couldn't close them out because it seemed like whenever I had a wide open receiver in the end zone, he would overthrow him. It's almost like the close games they were forcing me to lose. That's the experience I had in Madden 21 in franchise mode. I'm only talking about franchise mode specifically. And I got beat by the Jets. But anyway, I was on a nice little winning streak. As you can see, these games are close. Now, most of these games, I had to do something clutch in the end. And I was making good play calls. My guys were coming up with catches. And I would win the game. Like I said, Madden 21, that wasn't the case. I could not close out them close games in my franchise mode. Because like I said, there would be senseless, ridiculous interceptions that didn't really make a lot of sense. I have a couple of videos showing, a ridiculous interception in franchise mode that just seems completely weird and unnecessary. And I'm not saying this game doesn't have them. This game has a few of them, but it doesn't seem like they're forcing it in moments where you need them. And I almost felt like they were doing that to justify the all Madden difficulty. Say, look, you're playing on all Madden. You're not just going to march down the field and close us out. But it was very ridiculous. I'm talking about just overthrowing wide open receivers with your no pressure on your quarterback. And I guess it's because maybe my guy's clutch isn't high on his attributes. I don't know. But that's what my experience was. In this game here, it seems more rewarding to your decisions. Sometimes I do have moments where my guy will overthrow or underthrow a ridiculous pass, and it just doesn't look like it made any sense. I'm sitting back in the pocket, no pressure on him, a short pass, wide open guy. He just completely launches it and overthrows it way past him. That happens a little bit more often than it should in this. I will be honest about that, but it's not like Madden 21 where it seemed like it just happened way too often. It just seemed ridiculous. In some of the previous Madden games, and the interceptions felt extremely rigged. Like when you'll throw to an open receiver and he'll just overthrow it to a defender that's way on the other, like that's yards away from him. That happens in this too, but it doesn't seem like it happens in those clutch moments, and that's what I like. Madden 21, it does happen in them clutch moments. It's almost like they're not allowing you to come out on top. They don't want you to come through in them close games. This game, they give you a chance, and I'm very calculated. I'm very careful with my decisions as I get used to playing this game, and it's getting very enjoyable. I do like playing this game to an extent. I am enjoying this game. Now let's exit out. I'm gonna get into some yard gameplay. The yard has gotten enjoyable to me too. The yard is enjoyable from the beginning. Now some of the stuff about the yard I don't like. I don't like the robots, and I don't like the fact that your merchandise, they don't have enough free stuff for your gear. And I guess that would make it hard for them to sell the gear that costs money, wouldn't it? So I guess they have a purpose, which it doesn't bother me that much. I don't want the gear that bad. I just like the gameplay. I like the 5-on-5 thing. I like playing the yard in 21. I like it. I like playing it on here too. I don't feel like the gameplay is better on this one than the other ones. It pretty much feels like pretty close to the same. You know, that's what I'm noticing. I don't notice it being better or worse. I just know you get less options with your customizations as far as free stuff in this version of it as opposed to Madden 21. That's the biggest difference I know. I know the modes are different, the fields are different, but the whole purpose in this whole video was just basically telling you that I am going to admit Madden 22 is actually an enjoyable game because, and I feel like I needed to do that because so many people are just dropping negative stuff, and that's all they drop is negative stuff. They're not calling it right down the middle. If you call it right down the middle and be honest, you have to justify yourself playing this game day in and day out. And I don't play it day in and day out, but I do enjoy playing the yard, and the franchise has some enjoyability to it for sure. There's some crap in there that gives you something to complain about, but I will tell you, Madden 22 is actually a fairly enjoyable game, and I might be the only one that says this, but Madden, to me, they're moving in the right direction with their product. If they could just stop putting those weird moments that feel rigged in the franchise mode, because I was playing the Jets in a game, and because it was a Thursday night game, they put these, whenever they put a cinema before a game, like it'll show a coach talking to a player, you know the gameplay is going to be altered some kind of way. And they basically altered my gameplay because the storyline that they put on my guys was, we have a short week and blah, blah, blah. And there was this little cinema with the coach talking to one of the players. And then I played the game, and we were just throwing horrible throws. I mean, and they did it like that because it was a short week. The Jets were beating us pretty good. But I'm like, it's a short week for the Jets too. Why are we playing bad and they're not? And they put stuff like that in there. Am I against that? Not fully, but I am against the extent of it. Sometimes it's too much, and they just overdo it. Like when they say, oh, the fans are in the game and they're getting, when you're on the road and you're in a clutch situation where you're trailing by a couple points and the fans are just lighting you up, and then all of a sudden you overthrow a guy that's 5 yards away from you by a lot or something ridiculous like that. They overdo that stuff a little bit. They have the right idea, but sometimes it's overdone, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's reasonable. It's not completely unreasonable all the time, but sometimes it is. If they could just balance that out a little better and stop doing it so much, this game would actually be very good. I mean, Madden is close to being a very good product, and nobody else, I haven't heard anyone else say that. I'm saying that it's coming from me. The gameplay itself is getting very good, and that's my opinion right now. I'm not here to tell you that this Madden is incredibly awesome and it's a must-have. I'm not saying that because it has some issues, some things that they need to definitely change, and some features that I feel like they're leaving out of the game. And I'm going to put that in my next video. But yeah, that's this video. Yes, I am on record saying Madden 22 is actually an enjoyable game for me at the moment.